then go find this button over here, and then go press this button, and
60, 59, 58. This is a countdown. 57.
Perfect.
The Slade and Mayson Show. 55, 54.
Oh, sorry.
This continues to be a countdown to the Slade and Mayson
No,
Show.
I can't talk during this either.
49, 48. You're listening to the countdown.
I mean, if you can't hear me.
45, 44, 43. This is the continued countdown to the
41,
Slade and Mayson Show. 39, 38. Right now. 37. You're listening 36, to the countdown 35, to the Slade and Mason Show. 33. Please stand 32, by as you're 31, listening to the countdown 30, to the Slade and Mason Show. 28, 27. This 26, of course, the countdown to the Slade and Mason Show.
I'm so excited.
22. We continue on with the countdown to the Slade and Mason Show. 18. 17. Stand by. 16. As we are 15, now delivering the countdown 14, to the Slade 13, and Mason Show. 12. 11. Yes. 10. This is our countdown 9, to the Slade and Mason Show.
I guess I'm going to have to hold it for an hour.
4.
Yep.
We go. 3, 2, 1.
Now broadcasting from the Dan Mayson Studios, deep in the heart of Virginia, it's the Slade and Mayson Show.
Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade and Mason Show.
Talk about slamming the post. That was good.
Oh, hey. Oh.
Good morning, Mr. Slade.
Good morning, Mr. Mayson. It is a beautifully clear, crisp day here in Central Virginia. It's like, again, we're getting a respite from all that ridiculous heat and humidity. It's coming back a little later in the week, but the weekend has been beautiful.
It's been awesome. It's been great. Yep.
All
Yay.
right, so, all right, let me see here. There was a couple of things that I was thinking about.
All right.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Please go forth and give our mission statement so that I can get my rants out of the way.
That's right. Sorry. All right. The Slade and Mason Show is all about you and us. It's like a radio program, kind of, where we share with you news stories and things that we see throughout the week. It is our take on it. Okay. Basically, we're just saying things that you're thinking that if you said it in real life, someone would punch you in the stomach. But you'll never hear this on the radio. We're just here having fun. Don't take it too seriously. All the music you hear in the background, unless he tell you otherwise, is brought to you by Dano Music. Dano Music, brought to you by Dano Music. And let's see. So don't forget to check us out on Instagram, even though we haven't added anything there in about a year. And special thanks to our sponsor, I See Something Icy. We'll talk more about that later. And don't forget to tell your friends. Listen, we're on. I found out this past week that we were we were removed from Apple.
Really?
Yes. So I think that has a lot to do with the fact that Anchor.fm was purchased by a competitor of Apple's. So yeah.
Okay, so for those who are just, hey, listen, just find out, just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. YouTube doesn't block anybody. Oh, and if you have any Apple friends and they're like, I can't get the Slade and Mason Show anymore. Yeah, that's why. Just go to, hey, you can go to olfw.com. You can go to YouTube and go to The Slade and Mason, Mayson. Why?
Because we love you.
That's right. MasonShow.com podcast. What else? Anchor.fm, olfw.com. Look, guys, you can find us. Just search us. All right.
Again, but don't let Apple's ignorance dissuade you from this great program.
That's right. And make sure you tell people about this. That's the important thing.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, people love to get bad news, so make sure you spread the news of the Slade and Mason Show. All right, I found a new love, man.
What's up?
It's like, I have 1 cup of coffee a day. That's been the rule for years. And so I was in my favorite dollar store here recently.
Oh, what do you got there?
That is good.
What do you got?
Anyway, and I got a McCafe.
McCafe.
Okay, it's McCafe, and it is caramel macchiato.
Macchiato.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's got a nice little frothy top, and and it goes down so good, man. It's
So,
like, oh yeah.
What's this do to your blood sugar?
I don't bother to check. Why should I expose that to my bad? Why should I stress myself out with that?
Yeah, yeah. What a shame. What a shame. All right, what's your rant for this week, or do you have one?
Oh, my friend, yeah, I got one. Oh, I got one. It's like, again, on this program, we have had quite a few giggles about car parts, artificial stimuli, and I am living proof that you can be functional and enjoy the fruits of the vine.
My dog is functional, but she doesn't go to work.
Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on a second. Remember, by the way, I did have one more thing before I start getting really into this rant. I had my people take a look back at the 8 years that we've been doing the Slade and Mayson show.
Okay.
Because of your inability to get through to me that I can't talk during bits, we have lost almost 7 hours of funny.
All right.
No,
So
for those of you who don't know, go back to last week's show.
Okay.
Right.
So here's the deal, gang. Do you want me to explain it to them?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we are using Google Hangouts. So I can talk, JD can talk, but if we talk at the same time, we step over each other like that. So when I play a bit or I play music like the background music, or if I just do something like,
"Hi, I'm JD Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade and Mayson Show."
As JD talks, it and you can't hear anything he's saying. So he's saying, he's calculating, go.
7 hours and 48 minutes of funny that has just gone off the face of the planet that nobody got to appreciate.
And the reason being is because when he's talking, it's gone. So now what are we going to do about that? All right.
I'm not going to talk anymore.
No, here's what's happening. Starting next Sunday, JD is going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive over to Dan Mason's house. He's going to bring in his own mixer. He's going to bring in his own microphone, and we're going to go ahead and set up shop, and that way we can do it all live. And he's going to buy me a brand new computer as well, so we don't have the problem with this thing crashing every 20 minutes.
Now
That was so nice of you, JD.
You left out a couple of steps here because all right, I'm going to be up at 5 a.m.
Okay.
But I am certainly not going to be driving anywhere because at 5 a.m. that's me time. That's where I meditate and study on car parts to get ready for the day. Now let me get on with my rant here.
All right, go ahead.
So we have made gentle fun of people who engage in cannabis endeavors, but while there is not a violent culture because someone is imbibing in the old ganja, more often than not, the only damage that is done is to a bag of Doritos and some sour cream onion dip. But, it's like there are those, no matter what you do, there is going to be one idiot who is just going to give cannabis an awful name, and it's going to make people point and go, "See, that's why you shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah, but George Carlin's dead.
I know. That's why I've taken up the mantle to try and make it acceptable. But then you have, what's the dumbest thing you think someone could do if they're getting stoned? I got it. I'm going to save you the answer because you don't do that kind of thing. But the worst thing, it's sort of like, I love drug dealers who have their drugs stolen and they call the cops. All right, now listen very carefully to this Einstein.
Hi, is this a sheriff?
This is Sergeant Mark Duddleson with the Sharonville Police. How can I help you?
I had 2 cops come here last night and steal my weed, and I want it back.
What address are you talking about?
Yeah, I was staying at a hotel last night at the night. My wife had some problem. They had to call them, and my wife had my weed in their purse, and the cops took it. It was only like 4 grams, but it was really good weed. And from what I know, 100 grams is cool, right? Or am I wrong?
You are wrong.
I'm wrong.
What do you mean by that? Do you think it's cool? Where did you get that information
What are you
from?
talking about? 100 grams is legal. Am I wrong?
No, it's not.
Now, first off, ladies and gentlemen,
That's what I heard, man.
100 grams is over 3.5 ounces.
Can we say distributor?
Oh no, they have a special name for those. They call them kingpins. And I would call this guy a pinhead. I mean, you know.
My wife, she had a thing. What do you mean she had a thing? What? Oh God. You know, that's why kids just stay away from dope. I mean, idiots.
Why do you think they call it dope? I mean, you know, and I'm not making this up. This is an Ohio, calling the Sharonville, Ohio Police Department.
Is marijuana allowed in Ohio right now?
You know, that is not one of the states that it is legal.
Oh, okay. Evidently, according to Sergeant such and such.
Yeah, no, listen, it's Mark Duddleson, so let's get it right.
My bad.
Duddleson, but
that's
I just, you know, I remember it reminded me when I was a youth, you know, young and stupid, but I could rent a hotel room, and I remember, yeah, it's like we'll go to the hotel room. Yeah, but then you know you got to put the towels there at the door because it's like the smoke ends up wafting out and so on and so forth. I can't tell you how many times I've seen police go into the hotels.
Oh my God. Oops.
All right. So again, like I said, you know, we have these. I'm doing a public service here because
if you're in Ohio,
and these are the kind of people who should never, ever smoke pot.
Yeah,
Hi, is this a sheriff?
This is Sergeant Mark Duddleson with the Sharonville Police. How can I help you?
I had 2 cops come here last night and steal my weed, and I want it back.
Steal my
What
weed.
address are you talking about?
Yeah, I was staying at a hotel last night at the night. My wife had some problem. They had to call them, and my wife had my weed in their purse, and the cops took it. It was only like 4 grams, but it was really good weed. And
Look.
from what I know, 100 grams is cool, right? Or am I wrong?
You are wrong.
I'm wrong.
What do you mean by that? Do you think it's cool? Where did you get that information
What are you
from?
talking about? 100 grams is legal. Am I wrong?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go now. Bye. Click. You know, you know, there's so much control going on right now. It's interesting because, as you know, California was like one of the first states that came on board and said, yeah, smoke it all you want. It's cool. It's free. It's open. Have at it. Woohoo. Marijuana. Smoke it. Enjoy it. Stick it up your nose. Eat it. Make a brownie out of it. We don't care. It's great. It's safe. It's perfect. Now, about a week and a half ago, they just passed legislation to make it illegal to have a juul, which is the electronic cigarettes, because they're dangerous.
hold on a second. Now, hold on. Because here's where I go into the defense.
Go ahead.
I am
Wait.
I am what is known in the system as a lifer.
A lifer.
A lifer. That means that again, that I am familiar with cannabis, and I am familiar with various strains of cannabis, and I can identify various strains of cannabis. And
Just like a fine glass of wine.
I can tell you certain things that cannabis will do and won't do for you by basically imbibing in it.
Yes.
So, I just know that, and my friends who imbibe, and I can't give any names because who knows who's listening, but it's like nobody's thinking about going out and jumping in their car and going fast because, number one, it slows you down anyway. You're going 20 miles an hour and you think you're doing 80.
Hey, man, slow down.
Yeah, exactly. And then more often than not, you really are you're just too doggone lazy to actually get up and get into the car anyway. So you're going to plant yourself on a couch, make sure that there's Doritos and French onion dip, and there's a cartoon marathon, man. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out, because I believe in being fair and balanced. I'm like Fox. It's like, again, I will point out the stupid when they present themselves, and I will have no problem telling them that, listen, dude, please stop smoking pot. You're giving us all a bad name.
Yeah. But I'm surprised that California has decided that the juul, the electronic cigarette, is dangerous.
Well, okay.
But pot's okay.
Wait a minute. Let me back you up. A bit. See, the problem is that you have got some people who have been vaping.
Oh, okay.
And some of them have been vaping because, they do make the cannabis tubes. But, it's like everything else. If you get it from a reputable dealer, it will be what it's supposed to be. If you buy it from Joe around the corner, hey, let buyer beware.
Oh, okay.
And what has happened is they have found that they're getting an increase of people who are coming up with respiratory and lung problems, and they're targeting these people with these vape smokers. And Juul, of course, being one of the largest in the nation, and of course, all their stuff was geared toward teenagers. And it's like, and there again, you can get all kinds. Number one, when I was a smoker, and I have smoked in now almost 6 years, but when I was a smoker, I did not want cherry flavored cigarettes. I didn't want root beer flavored cigarettes or strawberry flavored cigarettes. I wanted Marlboro.
Yeah, baby.
Or that man that kind of puts the wrinkles in your face. But, but I mean, they're marketing bubble gums, vapes, and I mean, it's just it's ridiculous, first off. So the question is, are some of the chemicals that are, and here late, it's like there's a number of young people who have been admitted to hospitals, including one I saw on Nightline here recently. Man, it's like they thought he was going to die. He was going through all these conniptions and such, again, from vaping. But here again, they asked one of these kids, and he said, yeah, it's like I'd probably pull on it 40 to 50 times an hour.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of nicotine. Nicotine is a poison.
And then you put all these additives to it so you can flavor it and make it, So, all right. So right now the FTC is like, they're like, oh, wow. Boy, we really dropped the ball on this one. So now it's like the Food and Drug Administration want to get involved and so on and so forth and study because, like I said, right now they're trying to tie this into THC vaping. But it's like everybody who's shown up in the emergency room hasn't been doing THC.
No, they've all been playing with the experimental stuff they got from a friend of theirs down the street who made their own juul.
Like I said, it's these great geniuses, these street pharmacologists who are, yeah, hey, look, oh man, it's like I got this, so it's 194% THC.
Hey, man, I filled it up with drain cleaner. Come on, let's go fire it up.
Yeah,
That's
man,
a great
I gotta want
idea.
some of that.
Thanks, Terry. Or Rusty. Hey, so let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Where did
Rusty.
these names come from? But anyway, never mind. I'll go off that one. So I had to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Okay.
I don't know where I was, but I was in a park, a public park. It was like a little, kids are there and dogs and people are having a great time. It's like a little festival type of thing. And they were having.
Were you
Kinda-
wearing a trench coat?
No, it was no bananas to display today. No, so this was like a meet and greet type of thing, right? But the meet and greet were snails, and it got me to thinking, what we should do
Wait a minute.
is we should start a snail farm, because if you think about it, they're high
wait a
protein.
minute.
They don't take a whole lot of that.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Did you say snails?
Yeah. So anyway, so it was like a meet and greet, and I was going to take some of the snails, and they said you can't take the big snails, you can take the little tiny snails. And I thought, wow, this is really cool. I bring the snails home, and I'll feed them like moss and that green slime that's on the outside of jars and things like that, and let them grow that way, and then I'll eat them, which is good because they're high in protein, they're low in fat. They really go really, really well with garlic butter.
And they feel like loogies when they go down.
They do feel like loogies when they go down. but not as salty.
And you know what?
But
And you know what? And you can make it do the same kind of sound when you spit them out, like.
oh, they're great.
Do you actually eat that kind of garbage, man?
Snails? Yeah, I've had snails before. They're really well. They actually do taste pretty good, but it is really easy to mess it up. It's kind of like calamari. Because as you know, calamari, if you cook it too fast, it'll turn rubbery. Kind of like when you do chicken, right? You overcook the chicken breast, and it goes from this nice tender piece to, a hunk of rubber.
No, listen. If I got a piece of chicken and I take a teaspoon of salt and I drop it on it, it's not going to melt away.
Poor Snaily.
I used to feel bad because it's like I'd see, and they'd be the big old ones that that they had like the horny antennas that were coming out.
Yeah.
And you take a pinch of salt and drop it in the middle of the
They start foaming. You're like, mean, cruel man.
Oh, wow. Gee, thanks. You just exposed me to the world as being a real jerk.
I think they figured that out a long time ago. Oh my gosh.
And still we get together every Sunday morning.
That's right, baby.
Hey, to be going to church.
So several weeks ago, we talked about the opportunity for everybody to make $125. Does anybody remember that?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I got an email in my mailbox that I have to react to respond to. Otherwise, they're not going to give me my $125.
That is correct. So they want to know with whom you have. There is my claim number. So you have until October 15th.
Yep.
And if you do not indicate the information, your claim will now then be denied, and they get everything.
Yeah. So it's like, again, thank goodness for Credit Karma.
Yes.
Again, like I say, I get my nice updates showing that I have my 424 credit rating.
There you go. Wow, it went up. All right.
Those people who do not know, it's like, yes, I do pay attention to my credit rating because it's so bad. But again, if you are in that 650 to 700 range, my email address is. Listen, I'll tell you why that's funny to me, because it's like doing my radio show. I'm telling you, at least twice a week, I get a story of some woman who's given some dude hundreds of thousands of dollars because he said he loved her and that they were going to be together, even though they've never met. And I figure I only need to find one stupid one. I don't need a harem. Just one stupid one who just wants to write a check and leave it blank.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so, yep. Oh, wait.
That's going to be the training school that I'm going to open next.
Oh, I love the wording in here. Based on the number of potentially valid claims that have been submitted to date, payments of these benefits likely will be substantially lower.
Which means that you'll get $1.25.
And will be distributed on a proportional basis. Ready for this next word? If the settlement becomes final. This is called this is called the lawyers will keep this in the courts for decades.
Forever. Your grandchildren are not even going to get the $1.25.
No, that's great. I once filed a claim for something. I forget what it was. I got a check for 8 cents. I'm thinking, man, I burn up more gas starting the car going home to get this cashed out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I got a share of a settlement on a class action suit, and it was for a check for $1.25.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't that broke. I just wasn't that broke.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think I either burnt the check up or threw it in the trash or something. It's like, again, because I couldn't even find, number one, the hassle you got to go through to cash a check for $1.25. Oops, did I say that?
Yeah, you did. Now I got to hold it back. I can put a marker in here. Jiminy Crickets.
I do that just so that he'll have to go back and look for it.
Go back and look for it. Where is it? Didn't put it in the right spot either. Jiminy Crickets. Hold everything. There we go. All right. So
another one so that you can mark this one?
No. I'll just reverse it. It'll say, yep. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, this is the trouble we have with JD. He just
I bet you YouTube won't let. I bet you YouTube would let that go through. I bet you.
Actually, they will let it go through. They will.
Yeah. So but it's the other ones that'll have problems with.
Yeah.
And let's not forget those jerks at Apple.
Yeah, there you go. So now I got to figure out how to get my $125. Looks like I'm going to get scammed out of that sucker, but.
Well, like I said, I saw that in my mailbox and I thought, because I hadn't heard anything since I registered. And then it's like, there's my claim number. Okay, let's see here. So now they're trying to figure out how they're going to get out of it. And of course, it will be determined by how many people are going to actually print this out, because you cannot respond via email.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to pay the U.S. Postal Service.
No. They have a teeny tiny little link there in blue. You can click on the link. You can go through that and amend your little Duesmaker.
But I don't have to amend it. It's like,
No. You have to amend it to indicate who your credit reporting agency is.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
or your claim will be denied.
That's right. They will throw it in the trash.
You have until October 15th. Denied.
So I'm listening to
rhymes with.
I think it might have been a one of these guys who, listen, I can help you pick up liens on homes dirt cheap and then turn them over and make a lot of money.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm listening to this guy, and I hear him talking, and all, again, what I actually hear is money.
Okay. Go ahead.
So it's like, but I think, wow, if it was that easy.
Yes.
Wouldn't everybody do it?
And if everybody was doing it,
there wouldn't be any market for anybody else to do it.
That's right. So that'll get on to something I want to talk about. We're going to take a short break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about my favorite scam of the world. Drum roll. Uber and Lyft. So, oh yeah, we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. Turn your pot down.
Thank goodness for this break.
I can, I'm still
Sadly,
smoking it.
however, we will return to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Today in history, September 8th, 617. Lian defeats the Sui dynasty army, opening the path to his capture of the imperial capital of Chang'an and the eventual establishment of the Tang dynasty. I guess the times they are a Chang'an. Chang Dylan reference. Never mind. 1504, Michelangelo's David is unveiled in Florence. This, of course, is a third attempt at the sculpture. First one was Tony, and the second one was Geraldo. Neither one made it. 1966, the first Star Trek series premieres on NBC. 3 years in, they figured it was a waste of time, and they canceled the whole program. That'll never amount to much. And finally, 2004, NASA's unmanned spacecraft Genesis crash lands when its parachute fails to open. Seems there was this little tiny accelerometer that, you got to put it in north facing south as opposed to south facing north, so you know when it comes in contact with the Earth, it's getting a little closer. And well, someone put it in backwards. I'm Dan Mayson, and that's September 8th.
And now, just a few minutes with Andy on recycling.
Recycling is something we all do. Some are better at it than others. Now, we all create wastewater and hard waste, and that gets dealt with by ways of our modern sanitation network. To be honest, I have no idea where that all goes. But I will tell you this, they aren't making any new water. That means I'm probably drinking water that my great-great-great-great-grandfather drank. I bet mine is cleaner. No parasites in mine. Now, that's not what I want to talk to you about. Talking about recycling everything else. In the 1940s and 50s, we were all introduced to telephones made from a resistant material called Bakelite. That was the first widespread plastic we all used. It was reserved for items you wanted to keep for a very long time, like my rotary phone. Then we got smarter and found ways to make colored plastic and clear plastic, plastics that bend and others that don't. I have here a plastic bottle here that'll outlive the next 3 ice ages. Now I'm supposed to recycle this and turn it back into something useful, like a park bench. When's the last time you saw a recycled park bench? Or a park, for that matter. Then there are the containers to contain them all. There are 7 types of plastic numbers, and would you believe it? The tops have different numbers from the bottom of the bottles. I guess now I gotta risk cutting off that small ring on the bottle neck. I might cut myself, and then I'll need to get stitches. The reason I have so much recycling is because we don't trust each other. In 1982, we had a poisoning scare with Tylenol. Somebody bought the product, laced with cyanide, and placed it back on the shelf. What a jerk. Thanks to him, we now have to go through 3 barriers just to get our pills. Now I have a box to open, a plastic protective collar, and an impenetrable inner seal. Now I know I can recycle the box. The bottle's got a number on it. Looks like the lid does too. But what do I do with these other bits? They have no numbers, and the inner seal looks like it's, got aluminum. Do I scrape it off? No. I guess I'll just need to throw it out in the special bin I have marked as sea turtle food.
That was Andy Rooney. We'll see you next week.
leave you out to sing, Dick. Now? Now. How much is that hound dog in the window? I do hope that flea bag's for sale. How much is that hound dog in the window? The one with the long mangy tail. I'll give you 2 bits for that hound dog. The one with the sad aching heart. For he looks so much like my girlfriend, I can't hardly tell them apart. What kind of a dog was that? That is a hot dog, Rusty. Boy, you sure mustered that up. I must take a trip to Louisiana. Leave her and that hound dog alone. While I'm eating shrimp and jambalaya, they'll be home a-gnawing a bone. I don't want a monkey or a baboon. I don't want an old muley cow. I don't want a crappie or a catfish. A catfish could never meow. Gee, that's pretty. How much is that hound dog in the window? With a basketball nose on his face. You know what a basketball nose is. It dribbles all over the place.
Sadly, we must now return you to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Hey, Macarena. Somehow that got through.
The frequency, man. I've learned.
Yeah. All right.
What is that
Don't look in the window. Ruff, ruff.
Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mason.
And this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
All right. So I played that song in commemoration of...
Hot Dog Day.
No, close. It's the Hug Your Hound Dog Day. I can't make this up.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
No, careful. Going to get in violation of the copyright.
I forgot
Yeah.
the YouTube police. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Wait a minute. Before you get into your sermon, I got a couple of things I need to just get off my chest real quick.
Wait. Hound dog. So, Amy Moore, author and canine behaviorist, created National Hug Your Hound Dog Day in her desire to make America more pup-friendly as it is in Europe. She would like for our dogs to be accepted in more places like taxis, malls, restaurants, because they're just like people. All right, go ahead.
So now she's talking about hounds. She's not talking about like bassets. She's
Well,
talking about
dogs.
hunting dogs. Right?
Dogs.
Dog.
She calls it hound dog, but it's just, it just sounds more fun to call it Hug Your Hound. Hug your hound. See, they're both the H sound. See?
Yeah, I got it. See, again, hug your cocker spaniel doesn't quite.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it does sound a little filthy, doesn't it? All right. All right, listen, speaking, one of the things that is wrong with our society, Dan, is that we are the fattest people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So, and here's why. Now,
because we eat.
What season is this, Dan?
What?
What season is this now?
We'll have joy, we'll have fun, we'll have seasons in the
spice
sun.
and rum.
Yes. Yes, it is holiday season. It's the holiday season.
All right, Now, listen, WHNT says the police officers from the South Lake, Texas Police Department have accessorized their uniform with fashion items inspired by Starbucks pumpkin spice latte.
All righty. So we're getting into a territory I was going to talk about, but go ahead.
All right, so I just want to tell you, okay, so pumpkin spice lattes, there's the first thing. State fairs are always good for at least 1 or 2 heart attacks in your life.
Oh, yeah.
This year's Kansas State Fair has vendors that are serving hot dogs stuffed into jelly donuts.
Oh, my God.
Chocolate-covered corn dogs. And a burger sandwiched between 2 honey buns. KFC now serving French fries that taste like chicken.
That's because everything over there tastes like chicken.
All you have to do is
All they have to do is fry it in the same flipping oil.
and it makes fries taste like poultry.
Here, we have a new shake. It's chicken flavored. Try our new delicious Coca-Cola. Tastes like chicken. And apple pie tastes just like chicken. Come on down to KFC. It's finger licking good.
See, again, I used to love those little parfaits they used to sell. They don't sell them anymore.
Now they taste like chicken. We take some of the chicken-infused flavors and we pump it right back into them parfaits. They flying out the door. Chicken flying. Get it? Wings, chicken, flying. Don't get me started.
I'm trying to stop.
And don't worry. We're making sure that salt content is high enough to make your cardiologist scream. It'll be delicious. Finger licking delicious. Okay, so so many things I want to talk about. We only have a few minutes left.
Okay, wait.
All right,
okay,
go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
McDonald's did not want to be left out. They're going to begin offering a spicy barbecue chicken sandwich and glazed chicken tender.
Oh, God.
All right. And the last item, and then I'm going to have to shut up for the rest of the day. Jägermeister is launching a cold brew.
It tastes like chicken.
Okay, there's a cold brew that contains alcohol. The new drink is going to hit stores in January. It's going to cost $33 a liter. And the drink has an alcohol by volume of 33%. Oh,
now available in all the vending machines in all the schools throughout the United States. It tastes like chicken. All right,
you think
so
things will taste like chicken? Where you drink this, it'll do it for you. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
I hurt. Okay, so I don't know where to go. All right, I still want to do the Uber Lyft thing, but I want to talk about you drove into it. So here are 10 things people just don't know about this time of season, this thing. Here in the United States, we refer to it as
Pumpkin spice season.
pumpkin spice season. That's correct. Right next to the chicken flavored infusers, you got the pumpkin spice. But no. So this is typically oh my gosh, I'm bleeding. We call this fall, but in England they call it autumn because it sounds more, hoity-toity. Yeah.
You know why I hate the British? Because instead of saying garbage, they say rubbish.
Rubbish. It's aluminum. Aluminum. They can't even pronounce it right. So fall is not because the distance from the sun. We're actually closer in this hemisphere. We're actually closer to the sun now as we're getting into the fall and winter. It's the tilt. So we're starting to get that tilt away from the sun. So that's where that comes from. And you talked about it, weight gain. We are now going to be gaining more weight, not because of how much more food we're eating, but the lack of vitamin D.
We are.
It's what?
It's the inactivity.
No, it's because of the vitamin D. Vitamin D helps break down fat, but because it's gone, it triggers fat storage, and therefore we become.
That's why I take a vitamin D supplement. So it's like, again.
That's right. That's right.
People.
So it doesn't have a whole lot to do with eating those pumpkin spice lattes. Now, pumpkin spice has absolutely nothing to do with pumpkins. There is no pumpkin in there. It's cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, ground allspice, and cloves. People, there's nothing orange in there. Get over it. Now, the fall colors that you're seeing have to do not because of the hallucinogenic drugs or the car parts that you're consuming. It's because that it's the sugar in the trees is being released into the leaves, and of course the green is going away. That's the chlorophyll, and therefore you see the vibrant colors. And oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Fall is for, or if you want to say autumn, fall is for lovers. More people get into a relationship during this season than at any other time. Also,
you know why?
Yes, their level of testosterone increases.
No, it's because the weather starts getting colder, and it's like, you got to have
baby.
Yes, sir, baby. You got 17 children.
Here, baby. Let's get underneath this
number
blanket.
of fall nights that you were spank the monkey,
Squirming like worms. There we go. All right. Also, in ancient times, people wore Halloween costumes. You ready for this one? You ready for this one? Ready for this one? Not because it was fun and they were trying to get candy from house to house. No. It had to do with the fact that they were trying to hide from ghosts. White ghosts. We'll just move on to the next one. Now, number 8 is that birds spend most of their time in the fall time, for those that do it, which is 3 months, migrating. That's right. Migrating. I said
running away
migrating.
from it.
Yeah. Now, another thing. So leaf peeping, and it has nothing dirty going on with it. It's called leaf peeping. Brings big money into the New England states. As a matter of fact, it is a $3 billion a year industry because of all those people going up there.
I gotta tell you, I lived in New England, and I gotta tell you, and we used to hate leapers because it's like they come in, it's like, again, and everything they touch, they destroy, they throw trash everywhere. Oh man, it's like some of the most beautiful walkways were destroyed when leapers come in every year. And all because of the $3 billion in revenue that they turn in, they're willing to sacrifice the beauty of the area.
That works for me. Also, the number one thing that people don't realize is people, children, humans, the DNA that we're all linked to, if you're born in the fall, statistically, you're a better student and you live longer. This is according to the U.S. Department of Education, University of Chicago. It is the best time to be born.
My birthday is December 22nd.
Oops, sorry for you. You're going to die. So the rest of us are going to be straight A students and live to 119 years old.
Yeah.
How'd you do in school? I bet you failed a lot of classes, didn't you?
National Honor Society and the Dean's List 4 years.
Yeah, but you're going to die. So anyway. Oh, my gosh.
That's the news.
Oh, by the way, I never mentioned that song we played was How Much Is That Hound Dog in the Window by Rusty Howard and Dick James.
I knew it didn't sound like Patty Page.
No, it wasn't Patty Page. Oh, my
right,
gosh.
so you know what else is coming this week? You know, today is Sunday. And
That's
you know
right.
what
That means
happens
the
today?
Slade and Mason Show, 10 o'clock at YouTube and at anchor.com. You can also check us out at olfw.com. And, of course, you're doing that right now. So, of course, you know we're here. So I'll just shut up.
And right after you listen to the show, you can get ready for 8 hours of football. The National Football League begins its 100th season on this Sunday night. Started on Thursday with the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. Today, 16 games will take place in the NFL, the No Fun League.
Wait. 100 years?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me try something here. This is fine. 19.
Baby,
Hold on. Wait. 19. 100 years. Hold on. Just give me a second. Sports carry. That means it started in 1919. I just figured the math out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Figured it out all by yourself.
I did.
Wow.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now listen, I can tell you
It's a scam.
because I know my partner. None of this applies to him.
Nope.
A survey by areyouromantic.com, and believe it or not, there's a website called areyouromantic.com, tells us that 25% of men would give up sex in exchange for a Super Bowl win for their favorite NFL team. Now, let me just put this into perspective for you, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, I don't care who wins the Super Bowl, really, because I don't bet on it. So I don't have one nickel in that quarter. The Super Bowl winners will end up getting a nice big fat check for $50,000 to $100,000 for winning. The loser will get $25,000 to $40,000. Again, I'm not going to get not one red cent for that. So the fact that 25% of men would give up sex in exchange means that, well, guess what? It means their old ladies are doing something that ain't quite right. All right. 17% of men think that their performance in the sack is affected by their team's performance on the field. Have you ever heard anything so stupid? I mean, oh, wow. Tom, what's that guy in New England? Tom Brady. He had a lousy day. No, baby, ain't happening tonight for you.
Talk about an umbilical cord.
Thank you. 20% of sports fans wait until the end of the game before deciding to, slap hams. See, he just got the
These colorful words of yours are so okay.
Oh, wait a minute. It gets better. 30% of the men surveyed said that they're better lovers after their team won. 10% of them think they have bad sex after a loss.
I don't know about that.
Oh, baby. Oh, come on, daddy. I want. Did they win? Oh.
Bloop. Bloop.
Listen, it's a game, and it's like none of us are playing it. The people who are getting paid millions of dollars, they're not thinking, gee, I wonder if that guy in Cincinnati is going to have a bad night tonight with sex. Because he's not going to be thinking about you, because he's going to be having a wonderful night in whatever he's doing. So, stop letting pro sports rule your life. It's a game. They're all games. They're just meant to be fun. It's like, again, and to some people, they just take it too far. Mm-hmm. If the idea of 22 big old sweaty men jumping on each other turns you on, then so be it.
Ew.
If the idea of 18 guys knocking around a little ball and running around bases get you jollies, hey, so be it. Listen, I'll even go for soccer. Again, I don't understand all the thing about soccer, because how can you have 900 minutes of gameplay and no score? So go!
Yeah. You okay?
Burp.
All right. Yeah. I just sent you something. I think I sent you something. But to your phone.
Oh, to my phone? Okay, let me see.
Get your phone.
Let me see here. My phone. My phone doesn't say nothing. Okay. Oh, let me see here.
Did it?
Let me see here. Oh, I know why.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Oh, no. That's,
nope.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, there.
All right.
Yes, that's good.
Ready?
Yeah.
Your turn.
I'm getting something, but it's not showed up yet.
Come on. Get a real phone.
Oh, okay. What is this? There it is. What does this say here? Okay. I got it. I got it. Okay.
All right.
Listen, our sponsor for this program, of course, and we do thank Sheila Kennan for I See Something Icy. Again, if you're looking for a great refreshment, a great party idea, hey, listen, she can help you out. I See Something Icy. Now you can reach her at Icy, that's ICEY something, and that's SOMETHIN, ICEY at gmail.com.
Or www.
www.ICSomethingIcy.com. Of course, if you want to go ahead, the best way to do it, just give her a call at 804-617-8827. That's 804-617-8827.
JD, what's that number once again? I forgot. I didn't have my pen open.
Oh, okay. 804-617-8827.
Oh, wait.
804-617-8827.
Wait, let me open up the ink. Hold on.
804-617-8827. Call today.
All right. Perfect. Now, on another note, I wanted to get something off my chest. Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft. You talked about people pouring money into the home industry. They're all going to make millions of dollars. There's a saturation level. It's called supply and demand. We're all familiar with it. Got it? So if I'm an Uber, let's say I'm a Lyft driver, okay? Or an Uber driver, or both. I see Uber and Lyft driver stickers on cars. It's amazing. So, but if I can drive you from point A to point B, and my next door neighbor can drive you from point A to point B. Now, if I was charging $15 for the trip, and my neighbor starts charging $12 for the trip, I'm going to have to bring my rate down to $11 for the trip. Then they're going to bring their rate down to $9 for the trip. And then I got to bring my rate down to $8 for the trip. And then they bring their rate down to $6.
You're actually paying somebody $5 for the trip.
Right. No. Because down the road, on the corner, Michael, he just got a brand new car. He's now offering the same trip for $3. So this is the problem with Uber and Lyft. You got all these people competing with each other, and they're all getting into it. Everybody's getting into it. There's a saturation point.
You see, again, I'm from a day where we used to call them taxi cabs.
Yes, and it's funny because the taxi cab industry is just sitting back and going, "Yeah, you guys have at it." Yep, we know exactly.
They're killing themselves, man.
Yep, they know.
Of course, I've ridden in enough New York cabs. You know, you get in there and it smells like just an old deli, but it's a big old cab, big old yellow cab, man. You could put 15 people in that back seat.
That's right. And then they had the tumble seats that come out, the little two that come off the back seats. Am I showing my age?
Right. Yep. So you can put 2 more people in there.
Do they still have those?
Yes. Hell yeah.
All right.
Gypsy cabs too. Gypsy cabs are another story because that's where Uber got its start. Uber and Lyft. Because people had these old clunker cars and they said, hey, I can make a little money just taking people across rides and I don't have to get a license and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the birth of Uber and Lyft. So,
yep.
But like I said, we used to call them taxis. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
They were a lot safer to travel in than Uber and Lyft.
I know.
Bad name, man. They are getting a bad name across the country because of some of the hiring practices. You know, it's like,
are they employees? Are they not employees? Who knows? Anyway, that was my rant. That's the music. We're queuing up. We're out of here, guys. We'll see you all next week. It was great. I know. Throw all your sheets away. Sorry, I got piles of stuff I want to talk about. At least I got my snail farm out of the way.
Hi, I'm JD Slade. Exactly. I'm Dan Mayson, and this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
All right, what'd you want to say?
I guess, wow, it's like, man, this goes so fast, Dano. It's like, gee, easy. It's like, okay, well, hey, listen, I'm going to go watch some football.
What's that?
Yeah, that's right. You were too busy having children.
Say goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Goodbye, Mr. Mason.
show is a product of somebody's demented mind.
This is a Slade and Mayson production. And why you showed up here again, we don't know, but we thank you ever kindly.
You know, we question your sanity. It's like, don't tell your friends that that you snuck over here. Hey, is the music over?
No. Bye, y'all.
Oh, bye. Bye. I'll do laundry. Do you think they left yet?
2 of them did. Yep, there goes the other one. And it's just us.
There we go. All right.
All right, let's. You know what we gotta do now?
What's that?
There's only one thing we can do.
60, 59. This is a countdown to the Slade and Mayson show.
That would creep everybody out. See y'all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.